In today's video, we dive into the world of the Boeing T-7A Red Hawk, one of the most advanced supersonic jet trainers in existence. But before we get into it, first let's get some context about why the T-7 even exists, and why it's so important to the United States Air Force. For many budding aircraft enthusiasts, both young and old, the thought of becoming a pilot is the stuff that dreams are made of. Back in the early years of flight, pilots were often seen as daring and brave. They were heroes, and some went on to become legends. Fast forward to the present day, and even in the 21st century, pilots still carry a special kind of charisma that others look up to. No pun intended. This is, in part perhaps, because the path to becoming a pilot is no mean feat. It takes tens of hours of classroom study and hands-on practice before going solo for even the most basic flight in a single-engine, propeller-driven light aircraft. And becoming a military aviator is a whole other level. Air forces around the world employ some of the most advanced rotor and fixed-wing aircraft ever made, each designed to perform specific roles in the defense of their countries. Utilizing extraordinary skill and precision, pilots push their aircraft limits with complete control and a cool head. These skilled professionals deploy around the globe to wherever there's a need for fighters, bombers, tankers, trainers, and more. Becoming a military aviator is a highly competitive and challenging process that requires a combination of academic excellence, physical fitness, leadership skills, and specialized training. There is a long list of steps in this process, but in today's video we'll be focusing on the latest training aircraft that trainees will fly after the Beechcraft T-6 Texan II, if they are selected to become fighter or bomber pilots in the United States Air Force. This also applies to trainees in NATO Air Forces who participate in the Euro-NATO Joint Jet Pilot Training Program, a multinational initiative based at Shepherd Air Force Base in the United States. While simulators play a vital role in pilot training, nothing can truly replicate the experience of flying a real aircraft. But it makes sense that the Air Force doesn't just throw new recruits directly into the latest high-tech fighter jets and bombers. Instead, after trainees have invested countless hours in classrooms, studying flight mechanics and honing their skills with various advanced simulators, they transition to specialized training aircraft. In fact, since the inception of military aviation in World War I, the role of flight trainers has evolved. Initially, trainers like the iconic Curtiss JN-4 Jenny, and later the North American T-6 Texan, helped pilots master the basics before progressing to combat aircraft such as the Republic P-47 Thunderbolt, North American P-51 Mustang, and the Grumman F-6F Hellcat, to name but a few. In the early Cold War, the Lockheed P-80 Shooting Star-based T-33 became the first turbojet trainer for the US Air Force, but the later twin-engined Northrop T-38 Talon ultimately became the gold standard. Introduced in 1961, for over 50 years the T-38 has prepared pilots for legendary aircraft like the F-15 Eagle, F-16 Fighting Falcon, and F/A-18 Hornet. However, after years of endless takeoffs, landings, and plenty of high-sky shenanigans from rookie pilots, many T-38 airframes were starting to show their age. The United States Air Force Air Education and Training Command acknowledged this issue and had begun developing the requirements for a replacement as early as 2003. However, this came to a head following a fatal accident in 2008, involving a T-38 which was linked to metal fatigue in the airframe. As a result, the US Air Force accelerated its efforts to find a suitable replacement, and in March 2015, they finally released the requirements for what became known as the TX program, which aimed to create a modern, versatile training jet for future fighter and bomber pilots. Boeing, in partnership with Swedish aerospace company Saab, yes, that's Saab, entered the race with their TX design, but they faced some stiff competition from a number of big names, including Lockheed Martin, Leonardo, and even Northrop Grumman, which built the trusty T-38, and this time had partnered with BAE Systems for their pitch. Unlike the aircraft it was destined to replace, the TX prototype was designed using advanced digital engineering techniques, which allowed Boeing and Saab to move from concept to first flight in just 36 months, with the first TX aircraft flying in late December 2016. This digital approach not only accelerated the development process, but also reduced costs and improved the overall design quality, making it one of the most advanced training jets in the world. As a result, after rigorous evaluation, the Boeing Saab team were awarded the contract in September 2018. The primary deliverables for this $9.2 billion contract included 351 aircraft, 46 simulators, along with maintenance, training and support, with the new type to be in service by 2023 in order to replace the US Air Force's aging fleet of T-38s. Spoiler alert, things don't go according to plan, but more on that in a moment. In 2019, the new trainer was officially named the T-7A Red Hawk, paying homage to the Tuskegee Airmen, a group of African-American fighter pilots who served with distinction during World War II. Their aircraft, notably the P-51 Mustangs, were distinguished by their red-tailed livery. The T-7's red tail is a tribute to these trailblazing aviators, underscoring the Air Force's commitment to diversity and the legacy of the Tuskegee Airmen. Featuring a single-engine configuration, the T-7 is powered by the General Electric F404 afterburning turbofan engine. In fact, this is the same type of engine used both in the Lockheed F117 Nighthawk and the McDonnell Douglas FA-18 Hornet, although they each have two of them. Nonetheless, this single engine can still deliver a whopping 17,200 pounds of thrust at full afterburner, enabling the T-7 to reach speeds of Mach 1. With its single engine configuration and at just under 47 feet long, with a wingspan just short of 31 feet, the T-7 boasts an aggressive design that echoes the capabilities of modern fighters, and with a twin-tail design for enhanced stability, it isn't just capable, it really does look the part. Setting aside aesthetics, unsurprisingly, its overall performance is also a significant leap forward from the T-38, boasting better handling and flight dynamics, allowing trainees to experience the demands of modern air combat earlier in their training. All up, the aircraft is only slightly smaller than the United States' two premier single-engine multi-role fighters, the F-16 Fighting Falcon and the F-35 Lightning II. And speaking of the F-35, the T-7's digital fly-by-wire controls are intended to provide similar feedback to the control systems in the latest 5th-generation fighters, allowing it to replicate their flying characteristics to better prepare pilots for these advanced aircraft. With this in mind, the T-7's airframe is also built to withstand the rigours of advanced pilot training, with a max G limit of 8G, which is only one less than the venerable F-22 Raptor's 9G rating. Along with durability, its parts and systems are more easily maintainable compared to older aircraft, reducing long-term operational costs for the Air Force. And while we're talking about technology, one of the standout features for the T-7 is its advanced glass cockpit that includes large, high-resolution touchscreen displays and a modern avionics suite. This setup provides pilots with an intuitive, user-friendly interface, resulting in advanced situational awareness. The cockpit also features stadium seating, which, for the instructor sitting in the back seat, means they have a clear view over the person sitting in front of them. A handy feature when a student is at the controls during landings or learning air combat maneuvers. Interestingly, the T-7 was also designed with modularity in mind, meaning it can be easily upgraded with new systems, technologies and capabilities over its life cycle. This ensures that the platform remains relevant as military aviation technology and training methodologies evolve. This adaptability aims to produce better trained pilots in shorter time frames, ultimately enhancing mission readiness at a time where the future is anything but certain. Away from the aircraft itself, Boeing has also developed a state-of-the-art ground-based training system designed to prepare pilots for the challenges of modern air combat without even leaving the ground. Capable of replicating a wide range of scenarios, from basic flight maneuvers to complex combat missions, the system includes high-fidelity simulators and integrated live, virtual, and constructive training capabilities. In plain English, this means that pilots can train in a virtual environment while interacting with live aircraft and other ground-based simulators, creating a seamless and immersive training experience. As mentioned earlier, this $9.2 billion contract was supposed to see the T-7 replace the US Air Force's aging T-38 fleet by 2023. However, things haven't gone as smoothly as planned. Early quality checks of the first couple of T-7 prototypes revealed a number of significant issues, one in particular related to the safety of the rocket-powered ejection seats, with serious concerns that using the ejection system could cause severe injury to pilots. As the project progressed into the 2020s, it became increasingly clear that the original 2023 service introduction was now somewhat unrealistic. Further investigations by the US Government Accountability Office also highlighted growing tensions between Boeing and the US Air Force over the slipping schedule. Despite these setbacks, some positive progress has been made, with the first T-7 production aircraft successfully completing its maiden flight in June 2023, marking a key milestone in the manufacturing phase. And just a few months later, in September 2023, the first Red Hawk was shipped and deployed to Edwards Air Force Base for testing. With 3 more delivered through to February 2024, in total 5 Red Hawks in engineering and manufacturing development configuration will be delivered for its test program. In the meantime, Boeing has announced a subcontract with Saab worth $101 million for the production of aft fuselages, which will be built in Saab's facility in West Lafayette, Indiana. This component is expected to improve the structural efficiency of the aircraft and improve its aerodynamic performance, helping to ensure that the Red Hawk can meet the customer's current and future needs. In April 2024, Boeing confirmed that the T-7 had passed critical evaluation tests, including performance in harsh climates, the safety of the ejection system, and the flight control software that allows the aircraft to achieve a 25-degree angle of attack. Fast forward to present day and, well, the T-7's tentative introduction date has now been officially pushed back to February 2026, with full training capability likely not arriving until 2027, 4 years later than initially planned. In the meantime, the trusty T-38 Talon has been tasked with helping to fill the gap, despite being well past its prime. These delays are expected to cost the US Air Force nearly $1 billion, as, along with upgrading some of their existing trainers, they will also need to rely on more expensive fighter jets to help fill the void. Despite these delays, in addition to its original training role, the US Air Force is actively exploring the idea of transforming the T-7 into an armed combat aircraft. Tentatively named the F-7, this variant could offer capabilities similar to those of a 4th-generation fighter, helping to maintain force strength as the F-16 is phased out. It could also serve as a replacement for older Northrop F-5s and Dornier Alpha jets in the export market. In fact, Boeing has already made it clear that it plans to market an armed version of the T-7 as a solution for countries looking to upgrade their aging jet fleets. So what can we take from all of this? Well, it's clear that the T-7A Red Hawk is an impressive aircraft, and the overall package, with its future-proof modular design and ground-based simulators, along with their integrated live training capabilities, represent a significant leap forward in military pilot training. As the US Air Force continues to evolve and modernise, the Red Hawk will undoubtedly play a pivotal role in shaping the future of pilot training and ensuring that the next generation of aviators are ready to meet the challenges of tomorrow. All eyes, it seems, are now on 2026 for its full introduction. As the old saying goes, watch this space,